Okay, guys, I'm going to show you a quick down and dirty way to upgrade or update the images that you have in your code. And keep in mind, first thing I'll tell you is whatever picture you replace needs to be the same size as the picture that was once there. If you add a bigger picture, it's going to blow your proportions up because it will not adjust it for you. If you add one that's too small, it just doesn't work. So what I did was I added a picture of Vision Tech in this floating manual spot right here. And what I did is I tracked and traced the picture that was there, um, and it was blue. It had a background picture, and it was called Parallax, PNG. And what I did was I opened that picture. I just basically went over to my file. This is how simple it is. Um, I went over to my file, my images. I found that picture, which let me see if I can find it for you. I think I saved, oh, did I save it on my desktop? I hope that I did save it so that I could show it to you. No. Okay. Oh, there it is. Well, that's placeholder. Okay, I'm just not seeing it. But it looked like this picture. It had that blue, it was a turquoise blue. It had been made in Photoshop. It was kind of cool. I opened it in Preview. And here's the trick, guys. Preview is a great tool. So I just took that image and I opened it in Preview. And I'm going to open the original, the secondary one. I opened with Preview. I took the original image, opened it in Preview, went to Tools, Adjust Size. And what I found was that my image was in pixels, and I noticed that it was this wide and this high, and the resolution that it was. And then basically I opened a new image that I wanted to replace it, made it the exact same size in pixels, and named it the exact thing that had been there. When I put it in my images folder and then saved my overall image, it then replaced that image that had been there, right? So here's what the trick is that I didn't really change my code. I just changed the thing the code referred to. So I didn't have to change my code. I just found that this picture in my HTML was named parallax.png. I found out what size it was. I made my new image the same size as the image that had been here, and then I renamed it parallax.png, dropped it into my folder where my images are, saved my page. So I went to save as index, replacing my old one, and boom, I now have that. So what does that look like? Well, this is what it's going to look like. I'll show you. So I'm just going to open this page. This is my page in HTML. There it is. I've modified these images in the same way. And if you notice, I'm not changing the template. I'm just modifying the content within the template. This image still, if you notice, it still floats like the old one did, which is what I like, but it's a different image now. And so what I want you to do is see if you can modify and or add images. Remember that you're going to have to control the size of the image before you put it in your image folder. And if you're going to replace images that are already there, pull them out, identify their size, make your new image the same size, name it exactly as the old image, make sure it's the correct format, put it in your image folder, and then save your file over, and boom, you will have new images. I know that all sounds complex, but what you've got to think about is that you are basically replacing what it sees, right? Does that make sense? You are, so because before it saw an image called parallax, but that image was actually something different. Now it just sees this new thing as parallax, and I've replaced it without hurting my code, which I liked the way it was. And that's how you add an image.